Welcome to this episode of GymInformer Podcast. I'm Chris Gilbert, your host for this episode, and today our guest is Patrick Jeffries, the owner of Broken Barbell in the St. Louis, Missouri area. This is a very cool powerlifting gym I got to work out at just a couple months ago. Super excited to talk to Patrick about it. But before we get started, let me show you the photos I took when I was at the gym. All right, Patrick, excited to talk to you about the gym. But before we get into talking about the gym, can you kind of give us a little bit of a background on how you became a gym owner?
Well, to get started, I became a gym owner during COVID. I was one of those people that didn't believe in absolutely anything that was going on. I was just pissed at the world. So at the time, I actually was the area manager for Pepperidge Farm. So I had a nice little corporate job, facility job, right? And I was part-time being a head trainer at House of Pain Gym, which you also visited whenever you were here. And we got shut down, and we tried to fight it, and basically we got shut down. And I just was like, what am I supposed to do with all my athletes? What am my clients, myself? I was right in the midst of my prep for powerlifting meets, and like really thinking that like this was my time, my prime, basically as an athlete. And I went to training in my garage for about a month, and then after that, and I just said that's enough. Like, I'm gonna go buy a building, and I bought a building. I'm not gonna lie and give you some story that I wanted to have my own gym my whole life, because I didn't. I enjoyed being a trainer. I enjoyed going to all the different gyms and everything. And it just hit me, man. It's just, I swear, it was one night I just was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of everything being closed and nowhere to go, and no one will get together. And I just went and signed a lease. I swear it wasn't even 48 hours later. The first building I looked at was about 2,000 square feet, and I jumped. And the rest is history. Now I'm, in my second building, about to be in my third building. So things are going well. I think I found a part of me that I didn't know existed.
That's awesome. So now it's a pretty cool powerlifting gym. And your background is in powerlifting.
Yes.
So it's a pretty badass gym. So from an atmosphere standpoint, like it's kind of hardcore. Is that what you were going for?
Not necessarily hardcore. It's just that I was raised by a father who was just the best dad. I mean, he's a cowboy, grew up on a farm, man. So it's like, we don't get pats on the back and good jobs and things. And like, I learned that as an athlete through high school, and get into my adult life of like what atmosphere and what makes people great. Like, why are champions, or why is second place? And I think it's because you have to work harder no matter how hard you work. And right. I wanted to kind of instill that. And I always did as a coach and as a trainer for 10 plus years. But as an athlete, like, people ask me, like, how did you go from my first powerlifting meet? I squatted 570. Probably should look it up, 570 something. My biggest squat to date is 1,031. Wow. And I only got there because I was addicted to it. I was like surrounded by people that didn't pat me on the back for doing an okay job. There's like, you got more, and I think that's what's missing from a lot of gyms. I mean, even a lot of cool gyms I've traveled and seen. And, as a coach, I stress that you are able to be an athlete and go to a competition with a team. We travel as a team. We come into my gym. We train as a team. Like, everyone's not doing the same things, but man, we're there at the same times, and everyone supports each other. All 200 plus of us, that are at the gym now. And it's not necessarily, like you said, it's not necessarily hardcore of what I was going for, but I think that what I go for is no bullshit. We're here to train. Like, let's fucking train. And everyone in that room can be pushed no matter what your goal is. It's powerlifting, it's strongman, it's bodybuilding, it's general fitness. It's, women are at the gym that just had babies and want to lose weight. Like, whatever it may be, man, it's just an atmosphere that we're in, a culture that I wanted to say, don't participate and get patted on the back for it. Like, someone can diet and train, but not train hard. And then I'm like, well, you train like shit, for lack of a better term. I mean, I wanted to set the precedent of people walk into the gym and they see us train, or they see our athletes at comps and me, and go, wow, I did not train that hard. I can do more, and I think that's mainly what I go for. Not necessarily a hardcore type of look. So,
no, that's cool. I mean, the atmosphere definitely feels like when you go in there, you better be ready to work that.
Yeah, and hey, we're still a big family, and trust me. I mean, if I could, I would not spend 3 to 4 hours of my life there every single day. But like, I get there, and everybody wants to talk and and hang out after training and stuff. So it's it's not like you get in and you get out. It's like we're there to train while we're there for 90 minutes. And as soon as the workout's done, people hang out. People go out to dinner together. People care about each other. They remember your name, your wife's name, your husband's name, your kids' names. They remember events, man. It's I'm proud of it, and I can't take all the credit for it. I mean, it's all the members, I know it's my gym, but at the same time, it's like people believe in me and they see how I am as a person now. And it feels good to not be in the room and it still be the same way.
Oh, no, that's super awesome. Yeah. And I've said that a bunch of times, like, if a gym owner sets the culture, the members will maintain that culture.
Correct. I agree.
So from an equipment variety standpoint, like being a powerlifting gym, you have a nice variety of equipment. It's not a ton, but it all seems like it was hand selected. You certainly didn't go out and go, okay, I'm just going to buy this line of equipment. Like, how did you decide what equipment was going in the gym?
I think that's an ever-changing hamster wheel, to be honest with you. I guess is the best way to explain that. I started off, and I think I bought the wrong equipment in the smaller gym that I opened. I grew my first gym in 10 months, and I moved into my bigger building, which is 5,000 square feet now. And I've been there for 3 years. And the mistake that I made at first is that I thought everyone was going to want brand new equipment. I thought that me running gyms and being a trainer and being in all these other gyms across the country and in the area working, like, that was the way to go, and it was not. Like, I think there's a lot of expensive equipment out there that's not good, and I found that out. The way I've kind of molded myself through the last 3.5, 4 years of equipment is not caring about what I want. And I think that's the most humbling part. Because it's like, yeah, it's my baby, it's my gym, it's like what I want, but like, it's not about me, it's about the members. It's about the members that I don't have that I could potentially have. Like, what is it that I'm missing? What is it, can anyone of any genre come and work out? So that's kind of how I've built the gym. So it's like, if I find a good piece of equipment that's used or pre-owned, I'll go and buy it. If I have 5 to 10 members that are telling me they want this specific, piece of equipment, whether it be a new T-bar row machine or a different style hack squat, a different bar, whatever it is, I think I've humbled myself enough to just go, okay, I very rarely do I say no, so I think it's, as a gym owner, you have to not treat it as this is yours and people will deal with it. I think that everything in my gym now is, and you've been here, so you can attest to it, is that, like, I don't have full lines of equipment.
No,
I have enough to whatever coach makes your workout, whatever thing you found on the internet, whatever style of training you're doing, we have it. Whether from kettlebells, medicine balls, to kegs, to sandbags, yokes, to dumbbells, all the way up to 200 pounds now. We're getting those this week. So, and all the different, weight selected machines to pin selected machines, free weight bars, kilo plates, pound plates. It's all for different groups of members that I have.
Right.
I took out the only thing that I ever cared about is having enough monoliths and enough power racks for everyone to be able to squat, deadlift, and bench at the same time and not have to go to the gym and go, oh, I got to wait, or I got to change my workout. Because, yeah, predominant, percentage of our members, they are powerlifting or strongman. So, I always want multiple of those things. But everything else is like, can we go through our rush hour from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock and have serious lifters and regular members come in at the same time? And we do a very good job of it.
Very nice. Very cool. And I found that like it seems like a lot of people who are general fitness are starting to go to like more hardcore gyms or more serious lifting gyms because the atmosphere is so much better and people like inspire them to work out harder, and especially women, they go to gyms like that and they get left alone.
Mm-hmm. I think it's probably different in every community. I think this area specifically does a really good job of it. In our gym ourselves, we even run like all women events. I have 9 coaches that work out of my gym. 4 of them are women, and like they get together and invite any woman they can find on social media, tag them, create Facebook events just for workouts, like like an open workout, come for free. It's getting women in and to feel comfortable into hardcore settings because you're right. You are seeing more people go to local gyms, but they have to get that first step. They have to get that first foot in the door,
Yeah.
and feel comfortable. And I think that's where a lot of gym owners, and even me at the beginning, missed, because that's, women train harder than men. They really do. Like my female athletes will train their asses off and ask for more. And my guys are like, I'm so sore today, I need a day off, so it's like, get those women comfortable, get those men, whoever it is, get them comfortable into your gym, and get them into a local, individually owned gym, to support, all of us in this business and in this game, because, those global gyms are just, they're so overpopulated. And like you said, they're just not motivating. And, I think once people start going there and they really get into fitness and they change their bodies and they feel that hormone release and they're feeling better about themselves, they're like, oh, well, how can I make this better? I need to find a different gym. I think it's all these small gyms need to do a better job of getting on your Facebooks and your Instagram, TikToks, whatever it is, and like really promote yourself. And get out there and go to these like fitness events, go to 5Ks, go to, half marathons and like participate, go to a triathlon, go to a bodybuilding show, whatever's in your community, and like target people that you wouldn't normally talk to, because those are the people that make your gym last.
Yeah. Well, that actually kind of leads me to our next question was, is there something that you feel like you could be doing better as a gym owner?
I think that what we could do better is, for sure, to touch on what I just said, is advertise. I think that it's really hard for myself. I don't know if you knew this, but I own a construction company as well, a very busy construction company, and my busy season is from February until November, and it's hard for me to do both. It's hard. I always am at the gym, but like when you miss 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. advertising, talking to companies, sponsorships, getting members. I think I lack on that. I think that I haven't relied enough on my other coaches and hiring employees to help grow the business. I think I could do a lot better job at that. I also think that I can do a lot better job on the maintenance aspect of, just running a gym day to day, and delegating it to my co-owner or the coaches or, the cleaner that we pay, like letting them do more. I think we can do more when it comes to that, to better the facility, the image of it. And as we move into this bigger building in this next 12 months, like I think that's something that is number one on the list, is, doing better on being on top of, your maintenance of machines, to cleaning, to the small details that, when you're a small gym and you're locally owned, your powerlifting gym, like you don't really pay much attention to, right? You just go lift, and that's what people care about. Well, people also care about, the little stuff.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. My next question was, what's the future for Broken Barbell? But you already mentioned a new facility. So how big is the new facility going to be?
So the new facility I haven't finalized it. It's anywhere from 8 to 10,000 square feet. It's a brand new build, from breaking land all the way to the finish. Whenever you were here, I was in talks to buy the bay next to me in the industrial park I'm at. But that just hasn't come to fruition. They've been kind of dragging their feet. Nothing against them. It's just business, I guess. But like, I'm a very impatient person with business. So, it's to take 3 months to give me a contract and a lease. I just said, nope, I'll do something else. And I found a friend in the construction business that, owns land on the other side of town, and said that he would build from the ground up. So I think it's better for myself and my vision now that I have everything the way that I want it. And instead of me having to fix things in my gym, it'll be built the way I want it, from, breaking ground to pouring concrete to, putting up walls. So
nice.
Like I said, it will be anywhere from 8 to 10,000. I haven't really decided yet. It's more about the floor plan and how we're going to do it. So, like I said, it's about 4 miles away from where we're at now,
That's not bad.
and deeper into St. Peter's, where we're at, St. Charles, St. Peter's. So it'll be right in the midst of it, and all the traffic and all the things. So
yeah, so that's super exciting. You'll have to let us know when that comes about, and we'd love to get back out there and see the bigger facility, because you're already doing a really good job in the 5,000. So I can't imagine what 8 or 10,000 square feet would look like. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I mean, my main goal with it is not only to have more space, but to be able to run all of our competitions without having to rent venues, because we've outgrown the building we're at now. I mean, it's our last powerlifting meet in March. We had 72 lifters signed up.
Wow.
There's over 500 people that came to the door, and that you see my building. That's a lot. I mean, it's when you have to have a meet set up in it and audience chairs. Like, it was a ton. Same thing as this last Saturday. We did our first strongman competition that we also ran. So that was a success. We had almost 150 people pay at the door, which is huge for strongman for a local event. So I'm a real numbers guy when it comes to attendance. I want people to have fun. I want people to show up and experience something they haven't ever experienced. And I just think we need more space for that. It's, to do things the way that I want to without having to spend, a couple grand on renting a venue for 2 days and stressing out for 48 hours.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say, hey, this is my building. This is where our comp's at. This is for the next 5 to 10 years. This is where they're always going to be at. Same thing with, we have Walcott Records in January out in Baltimore with Tamara Walcott, and we're doing it in her home gym. The owner, thankfully let us use the gym. And it's just the way I think that powerlifting meets should be ran. I'm not a fan of them in hotel banquet rooms and lots and bars, and like they try to do all these things, and like it's just not me. It's not powerlifting. That's not
right.
Like, unless you can sell 5 to 10,000 tickets, like why are you in a venue like that? Like,
it's almost like a sideshow.
Basically, right? It's it's just not the way that I envision powerlifting, and more power to everybody else that does it, but that's just not what I want to create in my local meets or this big national meet that we're doing with tomorrow.
Yeah, that's super awesome. So one of the things we always like to ask, well, first, I appreciate you coming on. One of the things we always like to ask before we let it go is, you've had a gym for several years now. You hadn't intended to be a gym owner, as you mentioned, but I'm sure you've learned a ton over the last couple of years. So is there any advice that you would give to someone who's thinking about owning a gym?
My best advice about owning a gym, or anything that you have developed a passion for, is to do it. Like, don't overthink it. Just do it. The best business advice I can give you about a gym is let your gym accumulate profit and make it better. Don't overspend at the start and put yourself in a hole. Don't borrow a ton of money. Don't make it harder to get members. Like, because guys and girls out there have to understand, when you're running a gym, like, and you're only charging $40, $50, $60 a month for a membership, or, a couple hundred a month for personal training or coaching, like, those things take a lot of people to add up to cover overhead when it comes to rent. If you finance equipment, like, you're putting the stress on you every single day. And I think that's why you see so many gyms pop up and close in the first couple of years, because they borrow so much. Instead of going, I'm going to get these 10 pieces of equipment and find them on Facebook Marketplace, or, your local, region wholesaler that you can find pre-owned equipment at, like, and then know that you can get better. You can always grow. You can always improve your gym, but you have to have the members first. So, right. Like, my best advice is to don't jump in and think that financing everything is the way to go. Just let your gym create it, and worry about the culture, and it will grow. If you're a good human and with good energy, and you support people and genuinely care about them as a gym owner, that's the only way a gym lasts. It's all about the owner. It's about the staff and how people feel when they walk in the door, and especially how they feel when they leave.
Oh, 100%. That's such a good statement. I always say that, like, that equipment might get someone in the gym, but the atmosphere is going to keep them there.
Correct.
Like, you could have the best equipment in the world, and if the atmosphere is ass, people aren't going to stay there.
Yeah. I mean, and you've traveled all over the country and seen gyms, and just here locally, it's there's a lot of gyms that are like that. I mean, I can count on at least 5, that have amazing equipment, but then you walk in and you're just like, I don't even feel like working out. Like it's just a weird vibe and a weird energy. Like you said, I mean, I think it takes time. It does. It takes time to build that energy and that aura and that everything that people look for as an athlete. It does. And you just have to have patience with it.
Yeah, we actually skipped a couple of gyms when we were in St. Louis that I was excited about going to because of the equipment, because we talked to people who left those gyms and said that when they had started out as locally owned, they were pretty much corporate gyms now. So,
yep, I mean, that happens a lot too. They get a certain member rate, and then you start trying to make it corporated, and the owner's there less, or you get rid of staff that made the gym, and then you try to replace them. Or they're just worried about numbers instead of people.
Yeah, you get too many locations, and you just lose who you were.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that's the thing about business. Make one location extremely good. Don't think that 2 or 3 locations is better than one if 2 of the 3 suck.
Well, speaking of which, will there ever be a second Broken Barbell?
Yeah, 100%. I have actually 2 people that are trying to invest and open around the area. Both of them are about 40-ish minutes away. I'd have to see if that makes sense. It's the same thing as the equipment statement I made is like, don't just open it to open it, make sure that like they're going to follow the same path and the gym is going to be the same way. And the area is in demand for it enough, and my biggest thing as I get older is what can I do for the generation of lifters behind me, and I'm not that, don't get me wrong, I'm not that old. I'm only 38, but like, it's what can I do for the guys in their 20s? What can I do for the girls, that are getting out of high school, the guys getting out of high school that, are looking for their next path, and like, can I give them a better place and a better alternative than, saying, oh, fitness isn't for me or being an athlete's not for me. And then they just choose different paths. Like, I want to leave something for them. So when I open other locations, like, is that area the right one? Is it, are we affiliated with the high schools, the colleges close? Because we are here, I mean, it's all about having the availability and the connections in each region or each area that you go to. I mean, I'm not against anyone opening a gym if they trust me enough to use the name that we built and what I've built over my life, then that's huge. That's a compliment to me. I think that, I've done good, bad, and ugly in life. And, I've sucked in life and made huge mistakes, and I am now a better person because of it. And I think that, people see that. And I think that people like, if someone's going to trust you to invest into you, I mean, cause it's Broken Barbell. I mean, they're investing in Patrick, right?
Right. Yeah.
Cause it's no matter what, like my face will be behind it and I'll be connected with it. So, I think it's a huge compliment when someone says they want to take their life and their savings, and their passion and intertwine it with mine. It's, I think it's cool. I think a lot of people should do that. I think more people should do that. It's as long as that person that invests and runs another gym knows that this is a 24/7 thing until the day you die. So it's not like open a gym and then hire someone to run it. I don't believe in that.
No, me neither. That's when you become a business owner, not a gym owner. And there's a giant difference between gym owners and business owners.
The only people that care about the business are the people that own them. The rest of them, they go home at night and they don't think about it. I think about my gym every second of my day, And like same thing with my construction company. My workers aren't going to think about it when they're at home. Like, so as long as you get someone to do that, you're going to be better off than saying, oh, I'm going to pay someone $50,000 a year to run my gym and manage it and et cetera. That's great. Maybe they're fantastic for a couple of years, but eventually they want to do their own thing.
Yep. 100%.
So,
yeah. So is there anything else that you'd like to tell everyone about Broken Barbell that we hadn't already talked about?
I mean, I think we went over everything. It's a pretty good synopsis of, what the gym is like.
Yeah, I thought we covered it pretty well. I just wanted to give you an opportunity if there was anything else you wanted to say or.
No, just make sure, like anyone out there, if you're interested, or you're ever in the area, you're traveling through, check out our Instagram, our Facebook, shoot us a message. It's a free day pass, your first day, no matter what. I'm big on that. Even if you're from out of town, it's just one day. Come train for free. Don't pay me $20 because you're from out of town. Same thing with our events. Pay attention to them. We run some of the biggest and most wildly loud and fun competitions you've ever been to. I mean, if anyone's been to powerlifting meets, they know they can get really boring and quiet. It's like you lift in a library sometimes, and that's not the way we run our competitions. And everything's going to get bigger and better. We already have our, schedule and calendar mapped out for 2025 with everything. We actually have 8 powerlifting and strongman competitions that we're promoting, plus the one in Baltimore. So that's 9 actually, sorry. And every single one of them sell out. I pride myself on that too. I started, not selling them out, half selling them, and now we're selling out every single one. So I think we're doing something right, and I try to get better every time. And I want to welcome, everyone. If you're not a powerlifter, you're not a strongman, you're not a bodybuilder, like if you're just getting into it or you're trying to find your path, like come try it out. Like my best advice to you with a local gym is the same as an athlete. Don't overthink it. Go step on a platform. Come step in your local gym, whether it's mine or whether it's someone else's across this country. Because I bet you go work out one time at a locally owned, private owned gym, you'll want to sign up.
And if that's not the right gym for you, you'll never go back to a corporate gym.
Exactly.
Because not every local gym is right for every person. But once you start working out at a local gym, you'll never go back to a corporate gym.
Exactly. Find one that is locally owned and give someone, your membership, and support them as a human being. Like you said, not every gym's for everyone, but you won't go back to your Planet Fitness or your, or your Lifetime. You'll be like, oh man, like I want this, but I want a different environment, or a different genre of lifting, because not every private gym offers everything. Some are mainly CrossFit, some are only powerlifting, some are only strongman gyms, but like there's a way, there's a way for everyone to get in there. And that's all I can suggest is, take a step and go, try them out, see what you're missing.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah. Because I mean, for me, instance, like I was going to corporate gyms for years and I kept quitting. And then I finally went to a local gym and like lost 70 pounds in 1 year. So that could be you too.
See, exactly. And it's because of the people and the culture that you ran into, man. It's, like you said, you go to corporate gyms, you don't get support, you don't get the motivation, ever changing faces, whether, and then you go to your locally owned gym and you got, people that you see the same every single day, you get to know them, they care about you. They notice when you're not there, they notice whenever you're in a depression mode and you haven't been there for 4 or 5 days and they're texting you or messaging you on social media going, hey man, where you at? I haven't seen you this week. I think that's huge. A lot of people really need that and they need that support. And not everyone is just like born with motivation inside of them, like I am, and I can attest that I don't need motivation from other people, but, and I think that's why people hire me to coach them because like, I don't need it myself, like I want to give it to other people because I know that they need it. Like not everyone's wired the same. So, just find yourself that support staff.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. Yeah. So I appreciate you coming on. This was really awesome, actually. And it was great. We look forward to seeing what comes next for Broken Barbell. Sounds exciting.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. And like I said, guys, just follow us on social media, follow our calendar. And if you're ever in the area, or if you're from the area, get a hold of us and check us out.
Definitely. Sounds great. Thank you, Patrick.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content.